Welcome to today's session of physics class. So we are going to begin with our first chapter, which is physical world and measurements. So your first unit again it is with physical world, and the coming one will be related to the measurements. So your first unit, physical world. So there you will be seeing all those things which you have studied from your lower classes till now. To be frank, in science as such or in physics. So you will be learning about what is science, what is physics, the importance of physics in the current world. Okay, the impact of physics on mathematics, the impact of physics on technological advancements, the notable inventions by famous scientists, major theories in physics. Okay, so such things you will be seeing in your physical world, and you can have a look at all those things from your textbook. Okay, and what we are going to deal today is the measurements part. Physics, it's an experimental science, at least from Galileo onwards. So some experiments are done, or certain theories they are formulated after observing some of the phenomena which are in nature. So again, physics being a science, you need uh, enough proof to support your theories. So in order to make proofs, what they can do is they have to do some measurements. So they will do the experimental part. So that's the reason why I have called physics as an experimental science. Again, coming to measurements. So measurements, it plays a very important part in your subject physics. Again, the same thing with the other streams, so whether it is chemistry or mathematics. Again, but in physics, this exactly plays a particular role, because there are certain measurements given. Okay, so if some particular physical quantity is going above this particular value, then a change is going to happen. So you have studied laws or theories depending on all these measurements, right? So even your wavelength, your frequency, all these things, they are coming only because of the measurements made. So if it falls under a particular category of measurement, you call it X, you call it the another one as Y, and similarly. Okay, I'm just saying an example, I'm not saying the original names. So coming to the measurements, so how can you measure? If I ask a question like that, again, from your lower classes onwards, you are measuring, right? So you know how to measure the length, you know how to measure the area, volume. So in class 9, you have a measurement process explained in detail. And again, using the applications of those, okay, you did in your class 10. Okay, you found out the various values, or how that measurement is going to affect the science. So what I'm trying to say is, in class 9 you studied about vernier caliper, screw gauge, okay, which were used to measure the length. Again, the simple pendulum experiment for the measurement of time period, again, or acceleration due to gravity. And again, you studied different ways to measure the volume of an object, right? And again, using this measurement, I think you know that in your Archimedes principle, you applied all those measuring features in your Archimedes principle. Or again, if you want to find the acceleration due to gravity of a simple pendulum, again you use the vernier caliper. Okay, the measurement made by the vernier caliper, it was useful in measuring the acceleration, in finding the acceleration due to gravity. So coming to measurements, so can we really measure all the quantities? Okay, if I say length, okay, I can measure. I can measure area. I can measure volume. I can measure. So I can classify the measurements. Okay, or not measurements. I can classify quantities based on which whether it can be measured or not. So those quantities which I can measure, I call it as the physical quantities. But again, there are certain quantities which we can't measure using any scientific apparatus. Maybe you can say, okay, if I am smiling, I'm happy, but you don't know how much happier I am. If I am crying, okay, I'm sad, but you can't measure how much sadness I do possess. or my such things. Okay, love, happiness, sadness. So all these things they fall under a different quantity. So I call them as non-physical quantities. And physical quantities are those quantities which you can measure. And non-physical quantities you can't measure it properly or accurately. So your quantities are two types. So physical and non-physical. Again, this physical quantity they can be classified into again fundamental quantities which are independent or they are the very fundamental, very smallest. Okay, fundamental quantities. So fundamental quantities they are independent of each other and derived quantities. In your fundamental quantities, they are also called the base quantities. Okay, so your fundamental quantities they are also called the base quantities. So your derived quantities, it is getting derived from your fundamental quantities. And again, your fundamental quantities they are defined on the basis of a particular thing. I will come to that. So your derived quantities they are defined on the basis of this base quantities or fundamental quantities. Just like that, your fundamental quantities they are defined on the basis of a certain set of standard, and you call the standard as the unit, right? And you know which are the fundamental quantities. So again, units. So the units of these fundamental quantities you call it as a fundamental unit. The unit of mass, the unit of length, the unit of time. Again, there are more number of units. There are total 7 fundamental quantities. Again, derived quantities. So their units will be the derived units. So if I take the case density. So density is a derived quantity. Okay. The reason why I say density is a derived quantity, density is equal to mass divided by volume. Or let's take volume as a derived quantity. So if I want to find the volume, it is nothing but length into breadth into height. Or this is in the case of a rectangle. If in the case of a square, again the cube of its any one side. So if I take a into a, anyway length, breadth, height, one side. That means all these things are denoting the unit of distance. So the unit will be meter cube. Okay, and this meter I told you the fundamental quantity length, its unit, fundamental unit, that is nothing but meter. So meter into meter into meter. So again this meter cube, from where you got it? You derived it from the fundamental unit or the fundamental quantity. So that is an example. Again, density, mass by volume. Mass is a fundamental quantity. Volume going to be a volume again. It is derived from the fundamental quantity length. Okay, so it is derived from density, which is a derived quantity. It is derived from your fundamental quantity or the base quantity, or their units is used. Okay, brief what I explained just now. So you are having physical quantities which can be classified again into fundamental quantities and derived quantities. So the units of these fundamental quantities forms the fundamental units, and the unit of derived quantities forms the derived units. So you have seen the examples also. So now coming to the system of units. So there are two type of unit, derived and fundamental units. So your system of units means both the derived units and the fundamental unit. So your system of unit. So you have studied it already. So just I need to refresh all those things. Okay. So the first one CGS system, then FPS system, then MK system and MKSA system, and finally your SI system. I hope you know what all these things are, because you are studying it from your lower classes onwards. So CGS, again, it is a French system. So this is a French system. Again, this is British. Again, MKS and MKSA. Then SA, which we are currently using. Okay, this is said to be the standard unit which the entire world is said to use or is asked to use. And again, as per your ISC syllabus, again you need to follow the SA unit system. Okay, if it is specified, your answer should be in MKS or FPS, then you have to write it accordingly, or else you need to follow the SI system. So coming to CGS, so this is nothing but again the unit of length, mass and time. So in CGS system, the unit of length centimeter, the unit of mass gram, the unit of time second S. So centimeter, gram and second. Again in FPS system, it is length is foot, pound and S is second. Again MK system, meter, kilogram and second. Here MKSA, it is just with the SA coming to meter, kilogram, second, okay, which is a unit of length, mass, time, again along with the unit of current, that is nothing but the ampere. So if you look here, so C stands for this centimeter, so G stands for this gram, S stands for second, again here F foot, P pound, S again second. So the first letter that is being taken to define the system. So MKS, MKS, again MKS and A system. So that is your various system of units. So these are the fundamental units. So if you combine this, you will get like if you want the CGS unit of volume, so that will be equal to centimeter cube. So that makes the derived unit. So your system of unit, it is nothing but fundamental units plus the derived units, which again consists of CGS, FPS, MKS, MKSA and SI unit system. Now going to the SI unit system. So coming to your SI system of unit, so it contains 7 fundamental quantities and 2 complementary units, or 7 fundamental units and 2 complementary units. So again, your first fundamental quantity, length, mass, time, temperature, luminous intensity, electric current and amount of substance. So its unit meter, represented by the letter M. Again mass, unit kilogram, represented by kg. Time unit is second, represented by S. Temperature, again unit Kelvin, represented by the letter K. Luminous intensity, the unit is candela, represented by CD. Electric current, represented by the letter A. Ampere. Amount of substance given by the unit mole, represented as MOL. Again two complementary or supplementary units, angle given by the unit radian, denoted by RD. Solid angle, unit steradian and given by STRD. So these are the 7 fundamental quantities, their units, and again the complementary units and quantities. So now we have to analyze each and every fundamental quantity as well as their units. Again, these units, they are defined on the basis of a particular standard. Like for example, if you consider mass, so your mass, it is said to be 1 kilogram of a particular platinum iridium alloy. So the mass, it is said to be 1 kilogram because that 1 kilogram, it is the mass of a platinum iridium alloy. It was a definition given, now it is redefined. Again, just like that, length, it is also defined. So we have to see each of those definitions corresponding to the 7 fundamental quantities and their complementary, and again for the complementary units or the quantities also. The interconversion of units, so that is you need to convert from a system of CGS unit to SI unit system, or from MKS to CGS, or from SI to CGS and vice versa. So such kind of questions can be asked for your examination. So this is again an important part because you won't get any direct question as such convert 36 kilometer per hour to again meter per second, but while doing the numericals related to such questions you need to. Okay, so let's have a look into such kind of questions. So here what I'm doing is the direct questions which will give you an idea. So you already know it, but still we have to have a look into these things. So your first question, convert 1 kilometer or 1 kilometer per hour into meter per second. So it's an easy question I guess, because you already know that if you want to convert kilometer per hour to meter per second, what you have to do. But still, so 1 kilometer it is equal to 1000 meter, 1 hour it is equal to 3600 seconds, right? Because 1 hour is equal to 60 minute. Again 1 minute it contains 60 seconds, so 60 into 60 you will get 3600 seconds. So from here 1 kilometer by hour you need to convert to meter per second. So 1000 divided by 3600. So what you will get, 5 divided by 18. So in 8 meter per second your answer is 5 by 18 meter second raised to minus 1. Or if you want to convert kilometer per hour to meter per second, what you need to do, just multiply with 5 by 18. So if it is 10 kilometer per hour, let's imagine your question is 10 kilometer per hour. So if you need to convert that, just multiply with 5 by 18. So that will give you 9, 5. So 25 divided by 9 meter per second. That will be your answer in kilometer per hour. And if you want to convert from meter per second to kilometer per hour, just multiply by 18 divided by 5, the reverse. So if it was 5 by 18, it should be 18 divided by 5 in converting from meter per second to kilometer per hour. So your next question, convert 100 watt into CGS system of units. So your 100 watt, again watt is the unit of power. So the SI unit it is given to be watt. So you need to convert it to CGs. So what is work? The equation for work, it is given by force into displacement, the dot product. Okay, the scalar product of, so you have studied it as F vector dot S vector. So work is a scalar quantity, right? Again power is given by the rate of work, right? Work divided by time. So here work, the unit of force, so F is equal to MA, so the unit kilogram meter second raised to minus 2. The unit of mass kilogram, the unit of acceleration meter second raised to minus 2, because acceleration is equal to velocity divided by time. So into displacement, okay, it's not second, it's displacement, so into meter. So you will get kilogram meter square second raised to minus 2. So that is equal to kilogram meter square second raised to minus 2 divided by time unit second. So you will get power as, so or I can write 1 watt is equal to 1 kilogram meter square second raised to minus 3. Now you need to convert this into CGS unit. That means you have to convert kilogram to gram, meter to centimeter, second no change. So 1 kilogram meter square second raised to minus 3. So 1 kilogram again 1000 gram, 1 meter it is equal to 100 centimeter, but you need to have meter square. So 100 square again second raised to minus 3. So that will give you 10 to the power 3 gram into 10 to the power, so 10 to the power 100 square. So that is 100, 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So 10 to the power 4 centimeter square second raised to minus 3. So that will give you 10 to the power 7 gram centimeter square second raised to minus 3. So this is 1 kilogram. Okay, 1 watt or 1 kilogram meter square second raised to minus 3. Okay, in SI unit, when converted to CGS, you got it as 10 to the power 7 gram centimeter square second raised to minus 3. So 100 watt will be equal to into 100 or 10 to the power 9. So in CGS, this will be equal to 10 to the power 9 gram centimeter square second raised to minus 3. Next question, convert 5.4 Newton to CGS. So Newton, it is a unit of force. So you know force is equal to MA, or 1 Newton, it is equal to 1 kilogram meter second raised to minus 2. So you need to convert 5.4 kilogram meter second raised to minus 2. So 1 Newton, it is nothing but kilogram meter second raised to minus 2. So I need to convert this kilogram to gram, meter to centimeter, and second raised to minus 2, no change. So just convert that. So 5.4, so 1 kilogram, it is equal to 1000 gram, 1 meter, it is equal to 100 centimeter, again second raised to minus 2, no change with that. So I will get 5.4 into 10 to the power 3 into 10 to the power 2 gram centimeter second raised to minus 2, or my answer will be 5.4 into 10 to the power 5 gram centimeter second raised to minus 2. So that is the value of 5.4 Newton in CGS system. So 5.4 into 10 to the power 5 gram centimeter second raised to minus 2.